How's it going there today, everybody? This is Michael out in Maui. Aloha. So if you've been enjoying the content I've been putting out, I recommend subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you'll be notified every single time a new video comes out. So at the moment, I'm putting out 3 videos a week, straight tutorial, how to throw. So today I wanted to talk about when you're throwing an Anhyzer, is the angle of your wrist coming out of the throw. Like when you're throwing the Anhyzer, wrist is down, but when you actually release the disc, your wrist is coming out of the throw. I've had this happen to myself, and it can be kind of frustrating, because you're lining it up the shot, and all of a sudden you kind of get out here and that disc just comes out, nose up, the wrist broke and the disc just kind of rides high and you don't get the proper flight, on the Anhyzer. So the first thing, an Anhyzer throw is a complete right-hand turn throw as a right-hander. So an Anhyzer is a disc that continually turns to the right. So first you got to make sure you're throwing a disc that's understable enough to actually fly a complete right turn. You don't want the disc to be coming out of that, being that it's too stable. Like if you throw an Anhyzer and that disc is stable, it's going to come out of the Anhyzer. So when you're throwing an Anhyzer, the disc should be understable enough to hold the whole turn. Very important. So next, something to pay attention to, to make sure that wrist doesn't come up on you, is you're getting your arm too far away from your body and you haven't released the disc yet. When you're throwing an Anhyzer, standing up straight, the disc is kind of coming across your face, here. But if that arm gets way out here, like let's say your arm straightens, well, it gets harder to keep the angle in your wrist because it's so far away from your body. It's out here. You've basically waited too long to release the disc. The disc should have been released here and not here. So basically, you're just kind of releasing the disc at the wrong spot. You need to get that disc out earlier. So that way your arm is still bent some and your wrist is still down. It's kind of like rounding. When you round a shot, when you throw your disc, rounding is when you kind of come out here away from your face with the disc. The reason rounding is always that little pop out to the left is because your arm is too far away to actually throw any power on the disc. Arm's too far out here, and your wrist just kind of lets it go. So you're kind of doing the same thing. You got the Anhyzer, and your arm is getting too far away, and you haven't released the disc yet, and it's making your wrist come out. Instead of being down, it's making your wrist come up, because you're way out here. So you got to concentrate on getting that disc out earlier. When you run up, the throw's the same angle as a straight shot. The bend in my arm for a straight shot is here, right? Straight shot. Well, just because I'm throwing an Anhyzer, it doesn't change. Anhyzer, arm still bent, wrist down. I've just leaned backwards, see? So, you gotta remember the back moves the arm. So, hyzer, flat shot, Anhyzer. And the shot for an Anhyzer is gonna release, just off the shoulder. Don't get it out here straight, because then your wrist is gonna come out of the shot. So you just gotta mess around with the release point. Start slow, work your way up. The Anhyzer is probably the hardest throw to throw in disc golf. And a lot of it falls under that wrist and just getting the disc released on the proper angle. If you get too much angle, you got a roller. So, you got to get your angle correct and make sure that wrist stays down. But you got to remember to lean backwards some. It helps a lot, because when you lean back, it's going to allow the arm to throw here, like that. If you're standing up straight, and you're getting the arm out here, it's kind of like rounding, like I said, before. The disc is too far away from you. So just start slow, just throw it right in front of your face, and you'll start figuring out where it needs to hit, right there, right there, not there. So anyways, if you're having trouble throwing the Anhyzer, you just got to shorten it up. Don't let that arm get out in front of you. So anyways, this is Michael in Maui. Aloha.